Big Ben back again. What's going on? This is the third time I've had to make this now. The first time it just didn't record, and the second time, halfway through the video, the battery went on my computer. So, bit of a piss take. But Big Ben is back again, and we are bringing you the second episode of the Spotlight, as promised in the first video. When I did put, if you haven't seen the first video, by the way, it's on YouTube. Check it out. It's on the TFF page. I advertised it on the news feed. When advertising it on the news feed, I asked for volunteers for the second episode of the Spotlight, and Mark at Newcastle gladly popped up, and I'm glad he did actually, because this is going to be one of those rare occurrences where, and if we go into the history, I will show you managers. Mark has been at Newcastle since day one, 28th of June 2017, the day TFF was created. 176 games. So this now, what we're about to see, is basically the baby of Mark. For better or for worse, however it pans out, what we can safely assume is it's all down to Mark because he has been there since day one. So without further ado, Newcastle are under the spotlight, and here's the squad. And the first thing that stands out about the squad is this: the total value. Now, I said in the first video, I said total value. Some people rate it, some people don't. However, especially for managers that have been at their club since day one, this figure here, 358 million, is quite important actually, because if you've been there since day one, you can generally either say or not say whether there's been improvement based on this figure. And that is pretty impressive. That must put Newcastle top 10 most valuable squads in the game world. I don't know. If not top 10, then certainly top 8, top 7 maybe. But here's the squad then. Here's the squad. So Newcastle's goalie there. Obviously, top rated goalie, 92. Decent age. Plays for a good club in Man City. Statistics. He's been at Newcastle since season 1. Now listen, if you're one of the TFF old boys, yeah, you know that Mark at Newcastle sharked some pretty unfortunate managers early doors. And when I say unfortunate managers, I mean managers who probably didn't realise what kind of talent they had on their hands. So Mark has sharked some people early doors, okay? And I think this was a classic sharking, this was. Newcastle have had him since day one. He plays every single game for them. He's a top keeper. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. So fair enough, that position is absolutely safe as houses. Moving on to defence, Koulibaly. I'm a bit like Paul Merson, guys. I don't pronounce my players' names correctly, so please forgive me. I rate this guy. I do rate this guy. I'm pretty sure I've had him in a few game worlds when he's been 90 rated, 89 rated. And before we go down, I'm pretty sure I had him at Arsenal early doors. There we go. Arsenal season 1. I don't know why I let him go, but he played 22 games. Newcastle must have picked him up late in season 2. He only played 2 games, and that's it then. Since season 3, he's been he's played nearly every single game for Newcastle. He is their highest rated player, and defenders like this are hard to come by in full custom game worlds later on, like season 5, season 6. Defenders are hard to find. They're like gold dust. So Koulibaly, top rated player, excellent pickup. Newcastle's main man at the back. Then they've got a few more decent players. The Chelsea bloke, 91, 25, decent value. Fair enough. Robertson for Liverpool again, 24 years of age, good rating. That can only go up if Liverpool start winning things. He is a mainstay in that team. That is a good pickup. Hernandez, again, decent age, decent rating. Semedo is one where I think Mark has advertised him for sale, or at least for transfer a few times, which is surprising because if you look, he's been at Newcastle since day one, and he's played every single game bar one, season 2, season 3. He's played the majority season 4, so I'm surprised to see that Mark is trying to get rid of him, because he does play quite a lot. But nonetheless, I do think he's a good player, solid player. Fabinho, another Liverpool bloke, decent age, decent rating. Fair enough, he must play a fair few games for Newcastle. Let's have a look. Tottenham, Newcastle, there we go. Fair few games there. decent club, decent rating, as I said. Where else? Where are we now? I'm just doing honourable mentions, by the way, guys. I can't go for every single player. Is it Goretzka? Like I said, I'm Paul Merson. Okay, forgive me. Statistics. Recently moved from Reading, I do believe. Yes, West Ham, Reading, Newcastle. What was the deal? 11 million. Jeffrey Kondogbia, I don't know. Plays for Valencia, I know that much. And then the Inter Milan bloke who's on loan at Monaco. That's a pretty good deal. I think there might have been another part of that deal. Not too sure. But you'd assume he would start if Mark signing him. Decent age again, solid. Bernardo Silva, another player that I think Mark might have sharked. Not sure. Decent rating, decent age, plays for a decent club as well. Statistics. Man City. He's gone to Newcastle. Obviously, he's played nearly every single game season 3. He's played quite a lot of games season 4, and he's scored quite a few goals as well, 10 goals. So that's impressive. What's the history on him? Man City to Barca. See, I mean, if you look at that deal now, that deal just looks bad. And then so Mark's picked him up from external. So I think there's a pattern here, and I think Mark's either picked him up for external or picked him up for peanuts at fucking internal. Silva's a solid player though, decent value. Obviously, he's a starter, decent rating, decent age. Asensio is like, he's been around for ages in TFF in terms of clubs. I mean, he's played for me. I'm pretty sure he's played for West Ham and Tottenham. Here we go. Look at this. Liverpool, 16 games. Then I've had him for 9 games. I think Nick Justice might have squirmed him out of me. Because obviously he's gone off to West Ham straight away, early doors. Then Tottenham have had him. Now Newcastle have picked him up. And I think that wasn't a long ago deal. Let's have a look. From Tottenham to Newcastle. See, that's decent. That is. I do rate that. Mark's a good piece of business there. Obviously Real Madrid though, 91. He needs to kind of stay in that team and make some sort of impact if you're going to see him busting 92, 93. But again, he's got age on his side. Decent player. He's been around. Jesus, then, we all know about him. He's probably one of the most valuable players on the game now. Still pretty young. 92 rated. Let's have a look at his stats. Now see, this is a classic Craig Hammer Mark. You can see a bit of a pattern. Plays nearly every single game for Newcastle. The only concerning thing is though, Bernardo Silva got 10 goals with a couple of more appearances, I think. So that 11 goal return for 30 games for your top striker is a bit concerning. Other than that though, he's a brilliant player, one of the most valuable players on the game. Dembele for Barcelona, he's finally starting to put a shift in at Barca. Proper young, and again, if we look at his stats, bloody yeah. Look, even I had him at Arsenal. I didn't even know that. Gone off to Tottenham, who's then gone off to Hull. Then Newcastle have had him since season 3. Played literally every single game season 3. Nearly enough every single game season 4. Gets quite a few assists in though, 6 and 12. So he's a decent player to have in your team. Then if we go to the youth team looks pretty impressive as well. Obviously this boy here moving to Chelsea, 20 years of age. I don't know, the ceiling, I don't know how is he glass ceiling or what, I don't know. Decent pickup though. Obviously he was part of the Spurs deal that we saw, so I don't need to go on to go into that. Ryan Sessegnon, talented boy man, 10 million. That is a proper team, that is. And we go with the full team. We look, 412 million. That is the overall squad value. Now I know we said blah blah blah, don't go off it, but I tell you what, yeah, that must be at least doubled since he's taken over at Newcastle season 1. So that is a job bloody well done, Mark. I applaud you, even though you have sharked off some unfortunate managers. That's a proper team. Now, the second part of the spotlight with Newcastle is the history. Now, one domestic league championship, Division 2, Season 1. Obviously, that's where Newcastle started. And really, Mark, That's all you could do. That was the maximum you could do, and you did it. So well done. It doesn't matter. The only gripe I have with Newcastle is this: domestic cup, nothing. Domestic shield, nothing. Now we're going to go in a couple of minutes. We're going to go on through the history of the cups. Smaller teams than Newcastle have won these competitions. Now listen, unless you're Chelsea or Arsenal, yeah, this is going to be pretty much out of reach for a good couple of seasons more now. Unless you're Arsenal or Chelsea, don't care, it's out of reach. So Newcastle, they need to be focusing on these cups if they want silverware. They want real progression. Then this is what Mark needs to work on, I think. This isn't a criticism, this isn't me kicking Mark. You've got a fantastic squad, but lesser teams than Newcastle have won these competitions. Now we jump on to the overview and history of the game world. Loading. Here we go. History. We'll start off with best managers. Best managers of all time. I mean, Glenn's been there since day one, no surprise. Guest has been there since day one at his current team. Sold Paul Thompson. Okay, best current managers. There he is. Best current managers. Do you know what, Mark? Fair enough. I think you deserve your place there along the best current managers. So that is well deserved. Now, if we go on to tables, not player tables, tables. Division 2, that's where you started. Season 1. Loads. Newcastle, there you are, Mark. Top of the league. I mean, just about by a point, but listen, it doesn't matter. You got promoted. That's all that matters. Remember, IF, your mate getting a bit of stick for not getting promoted with that Villa team. But listen, there you go. You did what you had to do in Division 2. Well done. Division 1, then, in Season 2. There you are, 14th. Fair enough. Good start to life in Division 1. Rate it. Now, I think Season 3 was your breakthrough season. Let's have a look. There we go. 4th place. Newcastle's highest finish in Division 1. Beating Man United there by a single goal on goal difference, but it doesn't matter. Watford maybe trumped you that season, but if Watford aren't there, then you've probably had the best season out of all these clubs here, to be fair. So, do you know what, Mark? Yeah, well, fair play. 4th place in Division 1 is not to be sniffed at. Then Season 4 Division 1, back down to 9th. Then you've got the resurgence of Man United, Liverpool, finishing higher than Tottenham and City. Then Newcastle have sharked those two teams for the first couple of seasons. So that's it. Newcastle are a solid Division 1 team, yeah. You will never associate them with relegation. Season 5, when Season 5 comes around, I'm expecting top 10. Nothing less than top 10. But then here's my only concern, and we're going to go back to these cup competitions, yeah. We go back to honours. This season, okay, QPR, Division 2. Huddersfield, Division 3. Cup and Shield, Newcastle. I mean, there are no offence, fantastic achievements, but there are bigger teams in this game world who should be winning cups like that over these sides. That's Division 4. If memory serves me right, Division Season 3 was a Chelsea Man United. There we go. Division 3, Man United Chelsea shutout. Fair enough, can't complain. If big boys like that are going for cups, then you ain't got much chance. Season 2, Sunderland there winning the Shield. A rival of Newcastle, actually. Chelsea winning the cup, so okay, fair enough. Can't really compete with Chelsea, to be fair. And then Season 1, Hull City and Leeds United. So listen, out of the past 4 seasons, 2, 4, 5, maybe 5 of those Cup and Shield wins have been won by teams that you should argue shouldn't be winning those cups. So Mark, listen, overall, yeah, I think you've got a fantastic squad. Brilliant team. I think you've done well since taking them over since day one. But listen, Season 5, yeah, I think Newcastle should really be going for some silverware, a cup or a shield. You've got the squad to do it. I think you could sacrifice Division 1 form. And if Newcastle should ever become available, should Mark move on to bigger and better things, I think a load of people would jump at the chance to manage Newcastle. So overall, Mark, the spotlight salutes you. Well done, Newcastle. Brilliant team. Sorted for quite a few seasons yet in TFF. This has been Big Ben, back again. See you later.